Today's completely nonpartisan podcast is brought to you by Audible. Head over to audibletrial.com/jumbled. Get your free 30-day trial and a free audiobook. They've got all the books, every audiobook that you could. It's a digital library. Some might say it rivals the Congressional Library. But that might not be true because I don't think that's an actual library. Anyway, head over and check out Audible. Pick a book out. You're going to like it. Let's go ahead and place our hands over our hearts. Let's face the flag and repeat after me. I pledge allegiance to the flag of this podcast called Jumbled, and to the ridiculousness for which you put up with. One podcast under Zach, indivisible, with randomness and dick talk for all. Play ball. What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to Jumbled, your favorite podcast about nothing. I'm Zach.
And I'm Johnny, the proper co-host of the show. None of that B-list Joe bullshit. Just kidding. Good job, Joe. It was nice to hear your voice. I actually caught myself reverting back to fact checker ways, and I started making a list of all the things you guys fucked up.
Oh, dude, yeah, we'll go through that here in a bit. Do you have it?
No, I left it at work, unfortunately. So
damn,
that
dude.
one.
And you were just talking about being prepared with lists.
Yeah, I got a list for my trip.
Yeah, well, you had a list for the podcast too.
Well, I fucked up, Zach. Okay.
Do you remember anything off the top of your head?
I remember you guys talking about I Am Legend and then pissing me off some more, which I know you guys like to do when it comes to I Am Legend.
Listen, I called it right. Okay, they're not zombies. They're like vampire zombie things.
Yeah. What else did you guys talk about that I thought was funny? I don't remember.
Probably just anything that Joe said.
No gardening, though. I was surprised that Joe would come on the podcast and not take that opportunity to discuss gardening.
No gardening. Yeah, you're right. There was no gardening talk.
Which I honestly miss, and I feel like this podcast needs more gardening tips with Joe.
Yeah, I definitely feel like the people in the more arid regions of the world could use some gardening tips at this point, or the warmer regions, I should say.
Yeah, there ain't no gardening going on where I'm at, that's for sure.
Yeah, gardening up the will to fucking shovel your
survive, just
driveway.
Wake up.
Are you like a unicorn, like a Canadian unicorn? Like, are you like the outlier? Like everybody fucking loves winter, and then you're like the dude who's just like raging against it?
No, I don't think I'm the outlier. I'm definitely, there's a group of us, and I think most people that live here appreciate winter on some level. I do too. It kills all the mosquitoes. It means hunting season is here, or at least my favorite part of hunting season. Hunting starts in September.
Yeah.
So those are good things. That's about it.
Yeah, mosquito problem has to be actually probably a lot worse for you because they can only exist in like a certain span of temperatures. It's like 70 degrees to like 100 or something like that.
I don't think that's correct. I've definitely seen them out when it's.
Well, fact 15. Check me, dude. Okay?
Well, okay. You know what, Zach? Joe,
write it down. Hey, make a list.
I don't have where's my jumbled book?
You know what?
Jumbled book coming out.
By the way, nobody has applied to be our fact checker, and I do feel like we need to be held accountable for the stuff we say. So if nobody's going to step up and do it, you guys need to hold us accountable and tell us how we're messing up, and then we'll cover it on the next podcast.
I agree. You know who would be good at fact checking? Brent.
Joe. Oh, Brent would be good.
Joe would be great at fact checking, except
he's got a bias.
Well, yeah, he has a bias.
He likes me more.
Well, I mean, guys have the same blood. I'll give you that.
And the same wiener.
So you're really fascinated with wieners tonight, eh?
Hey, man, I'm actually looking at not a wiener, but I'm looking.
Oh, you're looking at wieners.
That could be portrayed as phallic.
Which is?
So we can get it. We can get into that here in a bit. But
I did.
Do you disagree that I'm Joe's favorite?
No, I would not disagree that you're Joe's favorite. You have a few years of relationship building with him on me.
Just a few.
I accept that.
31.
People often think you guys are brothers. I'm still not.
God, that's true, dude.
I'm still not convinced you're not. Even having known you for 12 years now. I did appreciate Joe talking about what it's like to room with Zach.
Yeah, you'd mentioned this in the group chat. So what do you mean, Johnny?
You're fucking snoozing.
Listen, man, I don't like that you guys are just like attacking me on this podcast.
Chronic masturbation.
Hey, man, it's not chronic unless you have a problem, and I can stop whenever I want. No Nut November. I shaved.
Are you doing No Nut November?
No, I already failed twice today, dude.
So back to that chronic masturbation thing I was talking about.
Yeah. No, but if you do follow us on the gram, you would have seen that I shaved my face.
You did. It looks good.
For No Shave November. Thanks. I don't really care for it. But
it's coming back
I'm just
fast.
trying to see. It is coming back. You can definitely see it now, but I just trying to put my hair follicles to the test, Every once in a while, you got to keep them in line. But boy, they revolted, dude.
Did they?
I tried to take. Well, I took them off with the clippers, and then I went by it with a razor, which is like the first time in 2 years.
Yeah, you went clean.
Yeah, I went clean, and man, it was very, very difficult.
Well, I've thought about doing it every once in a while.
Don't do it.
I used to only do it like every 5 years or so. And I've done it a couple times here and there. It's probably been close to a year now since I've done it. Every once in a while, I like to surprise Allie with a greasy stash.
Yeah.
I might do a nice hunting mustache, actually.
Yeah. Johnny, do you recall that time that me, you, and Nathan did
the beard off?
The beard off, and I definitely won.
Well, we stopped taking pictures, so there's no confirmed evidence. And myself or Nate Dogg will not admit defeat, so prove it.
No, well, hey man, I'll dig up the pictures and we'll just call it.
I think we stopped taking pictures at like day 3 or something.
No, it was not 3. It was like up to like 7 or 8, I think.
Maybe.
And then you guys just saw that I was pulling away, and then you guys said, I'm never going to catch up. I might as well just throw the towel in.
The only thing you were
pulling
was your
okay, well,
pud.
let's just stop taking, I said, let's just stop taking pictures then, because, you guys have conceded defeat, and now you guys are acting like you didn't concede defeat.
Nate, you need to back me up on this, bud. Zach didn't win shit, right?
Well, he listens to the podcast as well, so I'm sure Nathan would be happy to go ahead and let the truth be known.
Yeah. Truth is, you didn't win. All right, moving on.
Moving on.
I got some positive feedback on the podcast.
Did you? It was probably all related to you because.
Well, I mean, I'm clearly the better co-host here.
Sure. Sure. I will not disagree.
No. I'm
You
never
make better
here,
points.
so, there's that.
Hmm.
You are definitely the most consistent. Like you said, you've only missed one episode in a year and a half.
80. This is 88.
88.
I think. Isn't it 88?
88. This would have been a great episode for Mike to fact check because 88 is his favorite hockey player's number.
Yeah.
But
Wayne Gretzky.
No.
You want to know something funny? I already forgot those names that you told me, like, what was it, 3 months ago?
Yeah,
or
I'm not
whatever?
surprised. Eric Lindros, the best player that never was.
Okay.
He was great, but he had concussion problems.
That's what happens, man.
Some say that he could have been better than Wayne Gretzky had he stayed.
Does he have CTE?
Oh yeah, he definitely has CTE. There's no doubt about it. But who doesn't have CTE these days? Honestly, everyone's got it.
It's the new thing.
It is the new thing. But yeah, my you saw at our wedding. Well, you would have saw if you came. Zinger.
You sent me a picture
of the jumbled podcast. So
yeah.
Shout out to my buddy Jake. He saw and then he started listening. And I thought, like a lot of people just kind of listen to an episode here, 1 or 2 episodes, and just kind of show a little bit of support and be like, oh, these guys are ridiculous, and then stop listening. But I was out in Toronto a couple weeks ago or a week ago now. And Jake was telling me that he has been binge listening to our podcast, and that made me feel really good that a cool dude like Jake was chuckling to our podcast. So
that's phenomenal. Thanks, Jake. I have not yet had the pleasure of meeting you, but maybe one day. Don't go back to like anything before episode 36. Like go back to 36 and then just start listening forward because anything before that has the other co-host.
Yeah, and he smells like cheese.
Yeah. Cheese. No, I'm not going to shit on Joe. I do appreciate Joe stepping in last week. He bought me that root beer and I have not yet received it.
Sounds like a Joe thing. This magical root beer. He probably drank it. He's going to send you an empty bottle. Zach, for your birthday, I got you the deposit on this bottle. Congratulations.
What do you mean deposit? You can't turn in glass bottles in Missouri.
Oh, really? God, your guys' country is so fucked. Speaking of your country, how's the voting going? How's all that jazz? Allie was saying something about an hour ago that she was convinced that Texas was going blue. And I didn't believe it.
It looks like it. There's a lot of blue in Texas, which isn't... I would expect to see it around like Austin, because Austin's a very sort of progressive Portland sort of city. But even outside of like Dallas and stuff, there's some blue popping up. I voted this morning.
Good for you.
I'm in Missouri. Yep, I practiced my right to vote.
Yeah, I see you're wearing your MAGA hat, so I'm proud for you for voting.
Yeah, I bought it. I bought it at the polls. There was a dude outside, and he was throwing them away, and I said, "Whoa, no, I'll take that, man." And then I put it on, and I went in there, and I voted all red, straight down the ballot.
Straight down the ballot.
No, I did go vote, and the main thing I wanted to vote for was marijuana.
The Mary Jane.
No, so they're trying to get it not recreational but medicinal.
Yeah, which is good. That's a good start. Surprised that's not happened yet, but that's cool,
Well, Missouri's typically a very red state. So.
Well, and that devil's lettuce will kill you.
Oh man. There have been a bunch of people that have overdosed from shooting up marijuana, man. You haven't heard?
Yep. You hoop the marijuanas, and next thing you know, you're dead.
Yeah, and then you start shooting it in between your toes and stuff, and that's
God,
it,
that's
man.
gross. Allie's work sent out a public service announcement. Is that or something about the legalization in Canada? Basically, being like they're a very conservative company. I would say I won't name them. But basically said if you smoke the marijuanas, you will get schizophrenia and die.
They said that?
Basically, yeah.
Jesus Christ. But it wasn't like a warning or anything, right?
It was, well, that's what it was.
Like
it was a warning of, we know this is legal, but just so you know, if you use it, you will die.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Like one of those ads from the 90s or early 2000s. Just say no, man.
Yeah.
Just say no.
With the girl who she's like, she used to be my best friend, and then it pans over and it's that girl who's like melting on the couch. Have you ever seen that?
Yeah,
one?
I'm envious of that girl. It looks like she's in Narnia and having a great time.
Dude, yeah, she's totally having a great time, man. And then the other one, wasn't there one with like a dude and he like was talking to his dog or something like that?
Yeah, which I talk to my dogs all the time when I'm not intoxicated. I can only imagine if they start talking back on marijuana, like that's a good reason to start smoking marijuana.
Dude, fuck yeah. What are they putting in my marijuana? Because I want more of that.
Yeah, exactly. Did you see the one where it was like a woman holding a frying pan and there were eggs on the counter? It was like, this is your brain. And this is your brain on drugs. And she just starts smashing the eggs until they're obliterated. Wow, that's a little drastic, but I get your point. Say no to drugs.
I mean, I can understand that metaphor in like a situation where it's like meth, or like
yeah, fentanyl,
or like something, yeah, like just something that renders you completely useless.
Man, I heard a scary fact about fentanyl, and apparently the average life expectancy of someone after their first taste of fentanyl is 5 years.
Really?
Yeah, that's how addicting it is, and that's how dangerous it is.
Man. Well, fentanyl, dude. Sounds like I need to get a new hobby. 5 years from now, you're just gonna have to find a new co-host, bro.
Man, 5 years from now, I hope we're rich and it won't matter, and we're just in syndication.
Dude, wouldn't that be... We're like Seinfeld, dude. We're getting played on Earwolf and HeadGum and fucking all these different podcast networks. They're all chomping at the bit, Johnny. They're banging down our door.
Sending contracts left and right, just so much to read.
I said, look, I can't be bothered right now. I gotta go vote. I actually said that this morning. I said, look, I'm gonna go practice my right as a U.S. citizen.
As you should.
To go vote. Yep.
Do you guys get time off to vote?
Yeah, so there's you get 2 hours, I think, but I voted I went to the polls at like 6:40 this morning or something that. So
super early.
I got it. Yeah. Oh well, the church that they use as a polling place is literally right across the road from me. So I didn't even have to drive my car there. I just walked across the road and walked in. So I got that done early. I was standing in line, and I hate when this happens. Like, you're randomly placed into a line, but in a voting situation, like, you can't just like do cutsies or like switch spots with people, because it's just like there's a regimented thing to it. So
can't fuck around in those voting lines.
No. Like, I turned my phone off and everything when I went in there. I was like, I'm not trying to mess this up, but I got placed in the middle of a family. Like, there was like the mother was in the front of the line, and then I somehow weaseled my way in between.
Oh, and then the husband?
Her, yeah, and then they're having a conversation like over top of me, and she keeps like turning around and looking at me.
Did you just?
But she's trying to make eye contact with one of them behind me, and so I keep like acting like I'm listening, and then I figure it out, and so eventually I just like staggered myself out.
Yeah,
and it was like, you guys just have your conversation, because I'm done being this weird third.
I would have just talked to her. Been like, oh yeah,
you're my mom, Yeah, so that took me all of probably 40 minutes to get through the line.
That's not too bad. It's good
Not
that
bad.
you voted. I'll be excited to see the results, though I suspect it will change nothing no matter what happens.
No, it
America's
absolutely will not.
fucked. But I love watching the shit show, so...
This is the end of days.
Yeah, end of days. Speaking of end of days, I read a book while I was in Mexico.
Okay.
Read a couple books, but it's called Black Autumn, written by Jeff Kirkman. He's a retired Green Beret, and it's kind of a survival scenario. But essentially, the stock market crashes, and then two significant world events happen. I won't say what they are. And it's a survivalist story of a few different storylines, family story arcs in Salt Lake City. It was really good. Gave me some crazy dreams and made me super nervous about my preparedness. So yeah, you should read it. It's a good book.
Black Autumn.
Yep. You can get it on Amazon. And I think they are recording an Audible, so it'll be a great Audible sponsor hit once it comes out.
Audible is an Amazon company, after all.
That is true. So yeah, some cool stuff there. Support your fellow veterans. It was actually a really well written book. I really enjoyed it. I was a little bit skeptical at first, and it did not take the approach that I thought it would. I thought it was going to be very rah America, I'm a soldier blowing people up, and it was not that. It was pretty cool.
Yeah. All right. I am a fan of anything that reads to me.
It's like 380 pages. Pretty quick read. Not too bad. It's a bigger book.
All right.
Like bigger pages. It's a full-size hardcover, but...
Can you just read it to me, Johnny?
Oh, ooh. Yeah, I actually want to reread it. There's some...
Can we just hop on like nightly Skype calls and you can just read it out loud to me while I fall asleep?
You think there's copyright error issues if that just becomes our podcast for the next 15 episodes?
I would think we'd have to get permission from the author to do that.
Well,
or the publisher, depending
or
on...
we just go until we get a cease and desist.
Yeah. Delete those podcast episodes. That's one thing that I never want to do. Like, I don't... unless it's like one of us gets murdered while recording or something. Why would I have... Why did I release it, you ask? I don't know. I thought it was a good idea at the time, but then I realized, hey, maybe we don't want to have a person dying on our podcast.
All right, Logan Paul. Do you have all of the episodes saved somewhere on a hard drive or something?
I do.
Attaboy.
I do. I have all of them saved on an external, a couple different hard drives. So I would like to move them to a cloud solution just so I don't have to worry about it, but that requires money.
Hey. You wanna keep giving that bottle a hand job there? It sounds really good.
Well, that's what I'm trying to do, man.
I like that you just fidgeted with the lid until you tightened it, and then you went to put it down. You're like, "Nah, I want another sip," and then you fidgeted with it to take off the cap again.
Hey.
Yeah.
It's gone, dude.
All right, excellent.
Okay.
Just whip it. No look, whip it behind your head. That's what I want to see right now. Nailed it. Sounded like you landed on something good. Good job. We'll just say it was a trash can.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there's definitely a trash can right directly behind me, so that's good. I will have to do a seek and find for that later, though, because I don't want to leave some trash laying around.
As you shouldn't.
So, Mexico, how was that?
Mexico was great. I did not really burn. It was supposed to rain the entire time we were there, but the weather turned out to be really, really nice. It rained a couple times, but it was nice. Played a lot of beach volleyball. Represented. Nice. Got some good smashes in for sure. Some good dives.
Hung out with the caravan.
Yeah, the caravan.
Oh, you don't know about the caravan?
No.
Apparently, it's a thing that's happening. Trump.
That caravan. Yeah. I'm actually their leader now. They've elected me as president.
Yeah.
So I'm recording this podcast remotely while riding on top of my caravan slaves.
I thought it was a little weird. Like, it didn't look regular. Like, it doesn't look like you're in your basement.
Nope, I'm
cruising. I could only assume that you were on the back of a donkey, headed towards headed towards that Texas-Mexico border.
You know,
where I assume you'll jump into a little mom and pop taco shop that has a little hatch that you can climb into to get underneath the border.
I would probably get stuck because I would just eat all the tacos because I love me some tacos. But I did get food poisoning.
Nice.
Which sucked for about a day and a half. But the benefit was it was about midway through the trip. And I lost all of the weight that I gained in the first part. And then I didn't have an appetite after vomiting and shitting profusely for a day and a half for the rest of the trip. So I came back not really gaining a whole bunch of weight. I think I put on like 5-6 pounds, but I lost it all within a couple days once I got back and detoxed a little bit. Did
you drink some water or get ice in a drink or something like that?
We were trying to figure it out, and I have no idea. I think I got it from a partially uncooked burger. Because the couple nights after I recovered, we ordered room service. So Allie and I upgraded our room, so we got fancy room service. And
nice.
we were out that way for Mike's wedding. So Mike is now a married man. Congratulations, Mike. And we ordered a bunch of room service, and I ordered a steak, and I wanted a burger as well. I was craving a burger because I hadn't really eaten for a while. And I started eating this burger, took the first bite, and it felt so good. It was so delicious. The bun was baked, and it was tasty bread. And then I took a second bite, and I was chewing it, and in anticipation for my third bite, I decided to look down and evaluate where my next bite would be. And I noticed that the burger was very, very pink. And it wasn't a freshly ground patty. You know, if it was a make yourself patty, I don't mind a little raw hamburger here and there if I know where it comes from.
Right.
But it was definitely one of those frozen patties, pre-packaged frozen patties. And that kind of turned me off of the whole burger scene. And then I thought about all the burgers I ate before I got sick and thought, well, this might be what it was.
Damn, dude.
Yeah.
Well, I'm sorry. I'm sorry that you got that Montezuma's revenge, dude, but I hear he's a pretty spiteful dude, so.
Oh, well, you know, in the long run, helped me keep some weight off. It was good. Got a nap day in. Slept in the bathtub, so that was exciting.
There you go.
Got some...
You just shit and vomit it on yourself and then just stand up and rinse it off.
Yeah, exactly. It was beautiful. You know, got some workouts in. It was a pretty good trip. Lots of people came out. About 47 flew out for the wedding, so it was pretty good group. Yeah. Was playing some beer pong in the pool. And I wasn't drinking. I'm still not drinking. 101 days now. Woo!
Attaboy.
But so I was playing some beer pong, and my partner was doing all my drinking, and a guy was playing against us, and he was from another group. He was very redneck, and he noticed that I wasn't drinking and made a couple comments kind of calling me a pansy, or, well, he called me a pussy, or whatever. And his beer pong partner was actually one of my friends in our group, and this guy just kind of came in and was like, oh, I want to play, and we're like, all right, cool, whatever. And then he started riding me about my tattoos and the colors in my tattoos, asking me if I was gay. So I just stone cold looked him right back in the eyes and was like, yeah, I'm gay. And that fucking weirded him out so hard. He like lost his mind and then got kind of aggressive, like he wanted to fight me for being gay. And then God,
so just uncomfortable with themselves.
Oh my!
You know?
Well, it was like he was standing in the same pool as another gay dude and was worried he was going to catch the gay. He called it the gay. He's like, "Are you one of the gays or the gay or something?" And I was just like, "Yeah, I'm gay. It's cool." And my buddies are all laughing because they just could see where this was going. And I just at that moment I was like, "I'm gonna fuck with this dude." So I started getting pretty handsy with everyone around me. And then just staring at him, and then I would look at him while he was taking a shot, and then I would just drop my head a little bit and stare at his dick. And this guy got so fucking livid that he he was kind of joking or half joking, but maybe feeling out like he wanted to fight me, like, oh, I'll fuck you up, man. And then my buddy Sam, who was on his team, was like, I don't know, dude. He does jiu-jitsu and he does it with guys. And I was like, yeah, man, you know how I win? I get a boner. And this guy just, oh, what the fuck? Like, you should not be doing that. Like, he was so disturbed by it, and I was just giving him looks, just like, oh man, I will end your life in this pool.
That's so funny,
one way or another, and I just rode with it, and he was so taken aback. It's like, come on, you ignorant fucking redneck. Like, are you?
Yeah, seems like a pretty gullible kind of guy too.
Yeah, well,
because I mean, with everybody else around you, like laughing and
just taking it.
That eventually, you would think that eventually they'd be like, wait a second,
no.
maybe this guy's fucking with
He was
me.
pretty drunk, so I'll give him that, but that doesn't excuse that.
No,
just
there's no
the whole
excuse.
You must be gay because of your tattoos. I mean, if I had "Hey, I'm gay" tattooed on me, I would understand that question, but because I have some fluorescent colors, your first thought are, oh, you're gay. And this guy had a lot of tattoos. They all look like they were done with a pen and a sewing needle. So the other part of me was kind of like, why? Who are you to judge me for my tattoos when you have a bunch of scratch tattoos all over you?
Right. Yeah, got a bunch of prison tattoos.
I don't even know if they, like, I've seen better prison tattoos for sure. It looked like he, I don't know, his buddy was like, yo, I'm going to buy a tattoo machine off of eBay. It's used, but whatever. And then just, his first time drawing was like, yo, I'll tattoo you.
Yeah, I shouldn't practice on a gourd or anything like that. Like, just give me your flesh and let me practice on that.
So that was pretty fun. But I just roll with it. It doesn't bother me too much. I just kind of laughed and it's like, whatever, dude. If this is gonna bother you. There was someone in the pool who didn't know the difference between AIDS and gout.
Hold on just a second there, guys. Let's talk about our sponsor for today's podcast, Audible. Head over to audibletrial.com/jumbled to get your free 30-day trial and a free audiobook. The audiobook that I'm going to recommend for the month of November is My Squirrel Days by Ellie Kemper. Ellie Kemper, you might remember her from The Office. She was the receptionist that slid in when Pam was done being the receptionist. If you watch The Office, if you didn't watch The Office, hey, watch that too. That's a good one. But we're talking about Audible and Ellie Kemper's My Squirrel Days. It's got a running time of 6 hours and 14 minutes. It's a good sized amount of time. This is narrated by the lady herself, Ellie Kemper. Just talks about her transformation from growing up in the Midwest to becoming a semi-celebrity in Hollywood. To becoming an outrageously reasonable New Yorker. So she's made a big transition here, and she's going to cover all of those moments from the start all the way to current to present time. So give that a listen. That's the one that I'm going to recommend. Of course, you don't have to listen to what I say. You guys don't listen to what I say anyway. You guys, you're unruly. You guys want to do your own thing. And hey, that's cool. So just pick something else. They've got over 180,000 different audiobooks. So if you can't find something, there's no hope for you. Just telling it like it is. So again, head over to audibletrial.com/jumbled. Get that free 30-day trial and a free audiobook. Completely up to you what you do with your subscription after you sign up. You can cancel anytime within the first 30 days and you won't be billed. Just give it a shot. You have nothing to lose. You get to keep your audiobook after you cancel. There's literally nothing to lose. Give it a shot. Let us know what you picked. Let us know if you picked what we recommended. And hey, let's get back to the podcast because there's going to be some other things we need to talk about.
What? Yeah. So my one buddy has gout, which is kind of funny in itself that he's 30 and has gout in modern day.
Sure, yeah.
And he was talking about it, and this young woman overheard it and then was kind of whispering to some other people that we knew about how that she was concerned because this guy had AIDS in the pool, and here's the real kicker, Zach, that it's transferable through water.
Yeah, everybody knows that.
Yeah. So gout is now AIDS, and you can catch it just by being in the pool.
And especially chlorinated water.
Yeah. Chlorinated water, that AIDS virus just transferred from Matt's big toe, obviously, to everyone. So now I have gout AIDS.
Damn, dude.
Gades.
I'm sorry for your AIDS.
Yep.
Gout. Your gout AIDS that you got.
It
only exists in your feet, though.
Yeah, just in your big toe. So I've decided that I'm going to amputate it tonight on the show.
Oh, that's why you have those hedge clippers, dude.
Yep.
I was wondering what you're going to do with those.
Yep, they're a little rusty. I tried to sharpen them on the sidewalk, and we're just going to go with it.
All right. Hey, new tier on the Patreon page, by the way. $1,000 gets you Johnny's big toe. Can you imagine, dude? Somebody's like that desperate for $1,000. They're like, oh, fuck it, I'll chop my big toe off.
I don't think I'd do my big toe. I don't. Yeah, $1,000 is not enough for me to cut off a toe.
For a toe, no.
What would it cost for you to cut off your pinky toe?
I'd cut off a pinky toe for $100,000.
Wow, you're expensive. Is it bad that I was like, I don't know, 10 grand?
I'm just thinking
I'd probably do it for 10 grand. Fuck it.
Well, I mean, that's a little low. I'm just thinking like for something so traumatic for me to have to go through. Now, here's a different level. Am I awake while this is being taken off? Do I have to endure some pain? Or do I get put under and then they take my my pinky toe off?
I think if you're put under, it's really not that big of a deal. You wouldn't even notice. Okay. You wear socks 80% of the time.
Right. Well, yeah, 100K gets it done.
All right, I'm starting a GoFundMe. 100K so I can cut Zach's pinky toe off.
There you go. You can do it. Hey, I'm going to need to take a quick intermission. My dog is looking at me strangely.
All right, and so enter the break music.
Johnny fell asleep.
I'm awake. I'm alive. I'm here.
Are you still recording?
I'm still recording.
Great. Yeah, so $100,000 gets my pinky toe. And so we'll set that as a different Patreon level. Dude, that's like a different
100,000. There's some rich sick fuck out there that watched Hostel and was like, dude, I'm going to cut this fucker's pinky toe off.
Yeah, that's like the first step, and then he becomes the doctor that makes the human centipede, and then that's how it all starts.
If you had to be in the human centipede, where would you want to be?
Dude, the head.
It's always the head.
You can't. Okay. So here's the thing, right? You definitely don't take the middle.
See, I think I'd want to get the full experience. So,
so you want to be you want to get it from the mouth and the butt. You want to pass. You want to take and give.
Yeah, man. I want a good old human centipede pig roast. But think about it, man. If you're the head, you're responsible for you'd probably have some guilt there. I mean, you get to,
Oh yeah,
you know,
but everybody would have the guilt, right? I mean, besides for the guy at the end. The guy at the end really gets this shit into the stick. Like, he has to eat shit and shit.
Yeah, but he
Just
gets the shit on the floor or on his calves or something, you know?
yeah, but I would rather. I mean, psychologically, I'm trying to think who has the worst of it psychologically. I think the guy on the end has to have the worst psychologically.
No way, the guy in the middle does. He has he has physical pain on both sides because he's stitched to someone's ass and he has someone's face stitched to his ass.
Yeah. Well, I guess that's true.
I mean, at the end, the guy on the end, let's think about it. Is there any difference from eating some guy's shit or versus eating some guy's shit because he ate someone else's shit? Like, there's no twice the amount of shit in that, you know?
It's like a twice baked potato. You ever had that? It's like a twice baked potato, but it's a
shit.
Twice shit.
Yeah, that's unfortunate.
Twice past turd.
Yeah.
You're
I
like moving on.
I want to get the full experience. I think I'd go middle.
Okay, but the guy at the end, you know that eating that the guy in the middle having to eat the shit, that would do some weird gastrointestinal shit. So he wouldn't even be passing a regular turd on. He'd be passing diarrhea.
Yeah. Yeah. And what do you think it's possible to throw up into someone's asshole like that?
I don't know, man.
All right.
Probably.
How much, Zach? How much is it for you to human centipede?
Wait, am I at the head or the tail?
I'll let you pick.
All right. If I'm is this like a temporary thing or is this the rest of my life?
No, it'd be, a solid week of being human centipede.
Oh, 1 week.
Maybe not a week, actually, because that's a danger zone for you'd survive without food but water. I would say 2 days. 48 hours.
I'm definitely pooping in somebody's mouth, dude.
Yeah.
I'm taking the head, and I'm gonna be a shell of a person afterwards because I'll never be able to forgive myself. But
you'll have $2 million.
But I'll have $2 million, yeah. Here's another question that I thought about the other day. So we all know that you shouldn't eat poop, right?
Yeah.
You shouldn't. Is there an amount of time at a certain temperature that you could bake a turd where it would kill all of the bacteria? And then you can just eat a crispy burnt turd and it wouldn't affect you. Have you ever thought about things like this?
No! Why have you thought about this?
I don't know.
I thought my brain is fucked up, but man, you're on the next level tonight, bud.
So what do you think? $4.75 for
2 hours?
Just a crispy little burnt turd, dude.
Would you put some salt and pepper on it? And
how much for that, Johnny?
To eat a burnt turd?
Yeah.
How much turd are we talking?
Like a solid turd, like a
foot long?
No, not crazy like that.
Oh,
you
so
have
like
to eat a
5-inch turd.
Yeah,
standard width,
standard
girth.
Yep. It's not a stretcher. It doesn't like test your asshole and put to the max.
What did the person who shit the turd eat?
Oh, it's like all the finest stuff. They ate steak and they ate.
So it's a hearty dumper.
Yeah. Carrots.
Could I get them to eat nothing but corn for 5 days beforehand?
Well, you know that the corn is just filled with shit, right?
Well, whatever.
The kernels. Nobody's swallowing corn kernels whole.
But mentally, you'd think you were just eating corn.
Sure.
I don't know, man. To eat like a Mars bar sized turd.
Yeah, and here's the additional kicker. Okay, you would be allowed to cut through it to make sure that it was fully cooked all the way through.
Well, Well, I mean, those girls in from Two Girls One Cup probably didn't get paid nearly as much as I'd want to do it. So, and I'm assuming they're still alive. I don't know, like 50 grand.
Yeah, that's a reasonable number, I think, actually. 50 grand is, yeah, to eat a burnt turd. Dude, this podcast has devolved into such weird depths.
We almost
I don't even know.
We need to stop recording before we go somewhere we shouldn't go.
Yeah. You know what? We'll just go elsewhere here, okay?
All right. Take us to the next level.
You know how I was talking about something that was vaguely phallic earlier?
Yeah.
We didn't get into it. Did you hear Oscar Mayer officially declared hot dogs sandwiches? And they created a hotline for naysayers.
What? So they're saying a hot dog is a sandwich.
Correct. And then people who disagree with that, there's a number to call.
You can call it and debate?
Yeah.
What?
I don't know if it's still going because this was posted.
What is that number?
Let's see here. The number is, hold on. I'm trying to find it. Hold your horses. 1833 SNDWICH.
SAN.
No, SND.
Oh fuck. 1833
SNDWICH. So, listeners, if you want to call that number, here we go.
The time to change our minds is up, but you still have a direct line to our opinion on the matter. At Oscar Mayer, we know for a fact that hot dogs are sandwiches. But if you're feeling passionate about this debate, feel free to yell your hearts out at us after the beep. And by staying on the line and leaving us what may be a hasty and entertaining message, you give us consent to use your message in marketing materials, including on Twitter.
Yeah, dude.
Don't worry, you will stay anonymous.
Jumbled plug.
This is Jumbled Podcast, and I would just like to express my incredible frustration and anger that you guys would want to consider yourself a sandwich. You are obviously something bigger and better. Don't downgrade yourself. Come on, get your shit together. You're a fucking hot dog. Own that. Jumbled Podcast on Spotify.
Dude, solid. I love that message, man.
Oh fuck! Could you imagine if they send us an email, they listen to an episode?
Oh my god!
You know you got to call it. You have to name this now. After we have to give them credit. So if they look up Jumbled Podcast and they see that this episode, one, they're going to be like, these fuckers just talked about eating shit, and then transition to calling our hotline to discuss whether or not they should be a sandwich or not. I firmly disagree that a hot dog is a hot dog. It is not a sandwich. Is a hamburger a sandwich?
Yes.
No, it's a hamburger.
But it's a piece of meat in between two pieces of bread.
That's not what makes a sandwich.
Okay.
What makes a sandwich is the type of meat between two pieces of types of bread.
So you've never had a burger on just regular bread before?
Well, I have, but that's a hamburger. The burger part is the piece of meat is a fucking hamburger.
Correct.
And
but the bread added to it makes it into something else.
No. It's just a poor man's bun, okay?
Dude, I'm going to name this one my hot dog has a first name. It's OSCAR.
Yeah, and they better fucking reach out to us. You hear? I'm calling you out, Oscar Mayer Wiener. I want you guys to be on the podcast, and I want to have a public debate with you about how a hot dog is a hot dog and a sandwich is a sandwich, and that there are some small similarities between you two, but you ain't the fucking same thing.
Yeah, I'm really conflicted right now because I want to name it something to do with Oscar Mayer, but at the same time, I also want to name this podcast Burnt Turd. So I'm conflicted.
No, you gotta commit to the Oscar Mayer, because we called them and we shouted us out, and I have good feelings about this. Public debate. Anyone, I don't care if it's the fucking summer student who's sweeping the floors. You prep that motherfucker, because I'm gonna win this debate that hot dog is not a sandwich. Sandwich is completely something different.
You might be Matt Damon, and you might be writing all kinds of theorems and stuff on the chalkboard at the same time while you're cleaning.
I'm real passionate about my wiener. So.
Okay, so that's a call to arms, everybody. Number one, I want you all to call 1-833-SND-WICH.
Yeah, and you tell them Jumbled sent you, and you say, you're a fucking hot dog, not a sandwich.
Right.
Don't downplay your majesticness, you phallic-shaped tube of meat filled with pig buttholes and lips.
Okay, do I name it Pig Buttholes and Lips? Oh, dude, what do I call it? Oh, there's so many good titles now. No, so call Oscar Mayer up at that number that I just said. Again, it's 1-833-SNDWICH. And leave them a message. Let them know Jumbled sent you. Mm-hmm. Feel free to let them know that they can reach out to us directly at jumbledpodcast@gmail.com, or if they want to get in a heated discussion with Johnny, they can just do johnny.jumbled@gmail.com.
Yeah, please.
Or
please, I fucking dare you.
fucking bring it, dude. And if you want to deal with somebody who's not really related to the podcast anymore, Joe said that he created one called joey.jumbled@gmail.com.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's true.
Just send him a bunch of dick pics.
There you go, dick pics galore. He loves those.
But for real, Oscar Mayer winner, if you would like to sponsor us, a couple packs of hot dogs will get you a long ways with this show. But would love to have you on. Let's take this debate. Let's go live. I'll let you share your wrong opinion while you listen to my right opinion.
Yeah, I will deep throat an Oscar Mayer wiener every single episode going forward if you sponsor us. Give us some money. No joke. I'll choke on a hot dog every single time.
You need to call them out on social media.
I will.
Do they have an Instagram?
Oh, they gotta have an Instagram. I will. I'll tweet at them and I'll let them know that this episode exists. And we'll see if they respond, you know? They'll have to fight their way through the whole fucking human centipede and burnt turds and, you know, voting and all that stuff.
Yeah, you might want a timestamp.
No, I'm gonna timestamp burnt turd. Just that part right there. They're gonna be like, what? They're not gonna understand it all.
Oscar Mayer, you come on the podcast, Zach will eat a burnt turd.
You gotta pay us first. That's like a recurring, like a year-long contract that will be beneficial to both Johnny and I.
Perfect. I like where it's going.
And then I will do it. I will. Oh God. Just a bite? Do I have to eat the whole thing?
No, just a little nibble.
Oh, okay.
Would you want it to be your own turd or someone else's turd?
Yes. My own. My own. Just because I know where that came from, you know? Another thing I thought about, and I don't know if you recall this. Okay, so I'm going to set this up. Back in college, we played a game called Snakebite.
Yep.
Okay? And the whole premise of Snakebite was you had your little pointer and your middle finger, and you made little fangs out of them, and you just tapped them on a body part. And that body part was now paralyzed.
Yeah.
You couldn't, unless you like sucked the venom out. You had to make a little sound. Yep, and you sucked the venom out. Well, I was very dedicated to this game, and I would play it wherever.
Dedicated.
I would play it wherever. Like, it didn't matter if it was snowing outside. It didn't matter. It just didn't matter at all. So there was one time, and Johnny, you know how I love my food and my dessert and stuff. There was one time we went to the Commons. We went to the Commons, and you snake bit both of my arms. And then I had just taken a bite of I don't know if it was my dessert or if it was food. I had food in my mouth. And then you're like, I'm going to eat your dessert. And I was like, Johnny, if you do that, I'm going to spit this food in your face. Do you remember this?
Yes.
I feel bad about it now. I just wanted to say I'm sorry for doing it. But you ate my dessert, and I was like, "Fuck it, dude."
I warned you.
I let him know.
Hey, man, you warned me. You gave me fair warning. I hold no grudges on that. I went in eating that dessert knowing full well that I was going to get a face full of garbage. So
I was like, dude, it's coming.
I don't regret it at all.
It was a good moment. I do recall. Oh, and then It's a Race. You remember doing those up the stairs?
Oh man, It's a Race is what got us in such good shape.
It's true. We'd race all the way up the stairs, and then sometimes snake bite would take place on the race, and then I'd be like crawling up the stairs because my legs have been taken out. Dude.
I still get anxiety going upstairs now, thinking that someone's gonna yell "It's a race" behind me.
Dude, I want to just like show up one day.
It's a race. Ah!
You're gonna be like, holy fuck, is that Zach?
Racing up the stairs is one thing. It got real interesting when it was racing down the stairs, because then we were just jumping half a flight or full flights of stairs, just collapsing into each other.
You know what's funny? If I jumped down a flight of stairs now, I'm pretty sure I'd have compound fractures in both of my legs.
We're so old, man. We're so old,
dude. I have not been diagnosed with osteoporosis, but I'm pretty sure that
it's there.
My bones are like pumice, dude.
Brittle little guy.
Pretty sure if you just grabbed a bone and just gave it a little tug, I'm ready to fall apart. I'm ready to fall apart. Yeah, it's weird how that works, right? Because when you look at kids and they are like jumping around, like landing on their knees, I'm like, if I did that, my knees would explode.
Man, my knees hurt sometimes when I'll be like on my hands and knees playing with my dogs, and I'll go to stand up, and I'll just do that old man grunt, and I'll put my hands on my knees and pick myself all the time. Up. Just, yeah. Yep. Oh, God. Getting old sucks.
It does suck, man. Well, Johnny, I am fresh out of things to talk about. I think we've covered the gamut.
Yeah, I think we did a great job. I'm excited that we had our first live phone call. And I think that's going to go some good places. I'm looking forward to it. Oscar Mayer Wiener, give us a call.
Yep. We will be waiting patiently for that response. If you guys, including you, Oscar Mayer, if you want to send us an email, again, that's jumbledpodcast@gmail.com or johnny.jumbled@gmail.com. Or you could just find us on social media if that's how you prefer to reach out. Just search for Jumbled Podcast. We're there. We're pretty much everywhere. Not active in some places more than others, but you can find us regardless. We're not on TikTok, so don't check there.
What the fuck is TikTok?
Exactly. You know what Musical.ly is?
Oh, we talked about Musical.ly. That's stupid.
Yeah. And then TikTok bought them out, and so it's just like a bunch of weird people. That's basically it. We're not there, so don't go looking there. Unless you want to just go to be disappointed in your fellow human being, because that's really all it is. If you want to listen to us elsewhere from wherever you're listening right now, we're on all of the podcast platforms. Check us out there. If you're listening on iTunes, great. Head over, give us a rating and review. If you're not listening on iTunes, great. Head over to iTunes, give us a rating and review. It does help out a lot. We're trying to get those ratings and reviews up. We've, we're bringing you guys some grade A material here. Burnt turds. Who else is talking about burnt turds, right? This podcast, man. It really was jumbled this week. Want to give a shout out to our sponsor, Audible. Head over to audibletrial.com/jumbled to get that free 30-day trial and a free audiobook. Thank you very much, and thank you to Audible. We appreciate you. And head over to Patreon and donate to those extra tiers that we just set up in this podcast that actually don't exist, but $500 still gets us an address. So feel free to do that one or whatever.
Oscar Mayer Wiener, you send us some money and a costume, and I'll record podcasts in a wiener costume and a hot dog, not a sandwich costume, a fucking hot dog costume.
Do you put relish on your hot dogs?
I don't know, man. I'm weird with my hot dogs. Sometimes I eat them with nothing on them, and I do this weird thing where you put the wiener in the bun, and then I grab it, and then I squeeze it really tight, and then it just collapsing the bun, and then I just eat it like that.
Okay, and then you squirt the ketchup in your mouth afterwards.
No, I just eat it raw dog, man. Sometimes
you like to raw dog it.
Oh yeah, sometimes I like a little bit of hot sauce and cheese, and then sometimes I go deluxe, man, and I shred some onions and I put some mustard and relish and ketchup and mayo, and I just go all out. But I love hot dogs. So
Oscar Mayer, I'm no marketing guru here, but if you're not using the phrase raw dog somewhere in your marketing,
trademarked by Jumbled, you owe us if you use it. Come on our show and you can use it.
Yeah, exactly. Dude, if we both get like wiener costumes in the mail, I'm just gonna freak out. It's gonna be great.
I will be so happy. I'll wear it to fucking work.
All right, guys, that's it. Check back next week for another episode of Jumbled, your favorite podcast
about hot dogs, not fucking sandwiches.
We'll see you later, guys.
Bye.
I'm going to need to take a quick intermission. My dog is looking at me strangely.
All right. And so enter the break music.
Be right back.
I think that was just code that Zach had to masturbate again, chronically.